22. Wow. It's got a kind of amberish colour, it seems. And it says that it is hoppy and easy drinking. So I've got myself a little glass here. And I'm going to be trying it now. I know that some people like tapping sounds, but personally I just cannot stand them. So I'm not going to be doing like cap wriggling and stuff, or like tapping the bottle. I don't really like doing that, and you know, if someone in the future, perchance, if anyone ever watches these, wants a video like that, then I'm happy to do it. But for now, I'm going to be doing stuff that I like listening to. So in addition to having this, I also got myself a little double chocolate chip cookie from Tesco's, and I'm going to enjoy that as well. And I thought just today we might talk a little bit about, just for a topic, a little bit about D&D and media, just because I thought that was kind of cool. Things like Stranger Things, the D&D movie, Riverdale, because it's D&D. So we're going to get this thing open. There's the cap. No cap sounds here. But let's pour it in. It's not a big glass, it's only a little bit going to go in here at once. Let me see if I can get this, because these sounds I do like. Got this, look at that beautiful golden beer there. So yeah, this looks pretty good. Let's have a little read of the back before we take a sip, and then we'll have a little chat. So, a solid gold legend, the combination of our 4-up varieties infused with a malty barley and a touch of wheat give this easy drinking golden beer tropical aromas of citrus and passion fruit. Very interesting. A biscuit-like malt base gives way to the heaps of fresh lemon and lime zest. Hop kick riot of rascally refreshment. Now, did I choose Hobgoblin because it matches the D&D vibe, of course. I wish I could put this somewhere you could see it, but I'm not. I'm gonna have to put it down. Unfortunately, the angle of stuff I've got at the moment doesn't really work. I will change it, but I'm just enjoying recording right now. Oh, there's a glare from the outside which is blinding me. So let's have a taste before we begin our chat. Oh, it's definitely hoppy. It's nice. It's definitely hoppy though. Yeah, definitely very, very hoppy. But nice. So let's have a little chat today, shall we? So over the last, I don't know, like 6 or 7 years, D&D has had kind of a resurgence in just in general. But like it's been appearing in media, right? So when 5th edition came out, it was the most popular edition of D&D by a significant margin. I can't give you the exact numbers off the top of my head, but like it was a substantial increase. But that also went up after, you know, Stranger Things came out, and so I guess that's a good place to start. So Stranger Things is set in like the 80s, and of course the whole basis of it is sort of like a sci-fi adventure, sort of Super 8 sort of story, I guess. And honestly, it's more sci-fi than it is fantasy, but they obviously use D&D as like a means for the kids to kind of understand what's going on, and the use of that gave a massive surge in D&D sales. I actually have played the Stranger Things starter set. I don't know if it's actually a starter set, but it's you know, the kind of the tie-in story. It's okay. It's a story about going after finding a Thessal Hydra, and then you fight a demogorgon, the good thing about it is you get like a unpainted and a painted mini with it. But honestly, the story is like, it's alright. It's really just a kind of tie-in. But yeah, the kind of tie-in of D&D into the show definitely gave a big push to the popularity of it again. And honestly, it's fairly well represented in the show. You know, there's no like, other than maybe the most recent season, there's no like satanic panic with it, and it shows you what it really was and is, just a couple of kids pretending to kill monsters in their basement. It's not like any kind of ritual or dark stuff. It's just a game. You play it. It's just make believe, no different to when you're kids and you know you're like pretending you're superheroes or something. Except you roll some dice and they determine whether something went well or it didn't. And I've got a hot take here, which is anyone who thinks that it's worshipping Satan is themselves anti-God. And that is a real hot take, and my reasoning for that is that a lot of D&D adventures are about defeating evil, right? The Nine Hells is an evil, bad place. Devils are people you do not trifle with, and so people in these adventures are good adventurers who go out and seek to do good, who defeat evil, who play clerics and paladins, and obviously in the day they were different classes, but you would play these characters who would go out and defeat demons and devils, and that's about the most pro like, I don't know how else to describe it, like, I don't want to say pro-religious, but like, that's the most like anti-satanic thing you can do, because you're saying we're going in, playing this game to defeat the devil, you know, and if you're kind of against that, are you against people like fantasizing about defeating the devil and killing demons? That sounds pretty satanic to me. But that's my hot take on that. That's quite nice. It is very hoppy though. I'm not a big fan of hoppy beers, but that is pretty nice. Once again, Hobgoblin Gold. And it is 4.2%. I've got to be careful, I've got to be cooking dinner soon. Yeah, so the representation in that regard is very accurate. It's just kids playing a game. I struggled a little bit with season 4 only because I found like the satanic panic stuff really just grinds my gears. You know, it's accurate to the time, but it just irritates me because it's like, oh, it's so stupid. So it's not the show's fault, it's just me. I hate that period of time because it's a classic case of people hating and blaming things they don't understand, and that's basically what it is. So, you know, fuck 'em. Wow, that's really, really nice. It seems a little flat on there, but it's pretty good. It wasn't stored in a fridge or anything, so I think it's fine. It's more like an ale, I would say. But I'm pretty sure most Hobgoblin stuff is. It's nice though. I don't really do many reviews on alcohol, so I can't really give apt descriptions, but I would say it's light. It is easy to drink, honestly. There are much like kind of almost not necessarily actually thick, but it's so strong that it feels like drinking syrup. This is very light, but it's definitely got a strong hoppy taste. I guess I can pick up on where the citrusy elements are in there, but I don't know, it's not as overwhelming as I thought it would be. Yeah, there's definitely kind of almost that kind of citrusy acidic backwash. Not back mouthwash, but like aftertaste. And it's sharp, but I'm not getting what was it said? Passion fruit. I'm not getting the passion fruit. Yeah. Unless I just don't know what passion fruit tastes like. So, beer aside, yeah, I think Stranger Things does a good job of representing D&D, giving it a big resurgence. Of course, for those that watch it and don't know D&D, they will look at some of the things and go, that makes sense. Like, that's what the actual thing is. So, in the first season, the Demogorgon, my darling, a Demogorgon is not a weird monstrosity with a flower head. I'm about to force myself to edit here. This is a Demogorgon from D&D. This is what a Demogorgon looks like. This is the Demogorgon from Stranger Things. Do they look the same? They do not, do they? Yeah, they're very different. So a Demogorgon is like in D&D lore is an archdemon of the abyss, a demon prince that rules one of the levels. He actually is brought up in one of the modules called Out of the Abyss, which is set in the Underdark. Very old module. Honestly, one that isn't used very often. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's some plot with him trying to escape the abyss in that. But yeah. Anyway, they're very different, and as is the such with other ones. The closest one was Vecna, because it looks undead, right? And he has special, almost magical powers. Vecna is a lich in D&D, which is like an undead wizard, who tried to get to the, not afterlife, but like to get to immortality, and lichdom is a way of doing that. But it requires you to feed your phylactery living souls. So ultimately a lich really is evil unless you can find a workaround, and there are good liches in D&D lore, but that's a whole other subject. So yeah, the Vecna stuff was really, really good. Mind Flayer, I get it. It's got kind of like an elongated head and like a whole bunch of tentacles. But oh boy, that's not a Mind Flayer. A Mind Flayer is way different. It's not just a mindless monster. They are a hive mind of creatures that once had a big empire, and they're like humanoid in shape, but with like octopus heads with tentacles, and they eat brains. If you played Baldur's Gate 3, you'll know what they are. Honestly, I would say that they've basically become the face of D&D now. It used to be like beholders, but I'll be honest, like mind flayers are nearly in every single module of D&D now. Beholders are like have really been pushed to the wayside, and a beholder is like a aberration. It's a big spherical entity with a singular eye and a bunch of tentacles that come off with eyes on them. Like basically it's like 8 different eye stalks, and they used to be like the poster boy, which you would think would be dragons in Dungeons and Dragons, but it's not really dragons as much as they feature in every single adventure. They're not the poster boy anymore, and nor are boulders. It's basically mind flayers. So most people probably know what a mind flayer looks like if they're familiar with D&D. Yeah. So that's Stranger Things. Let's move on to the D&D movie. So obviously Stranger Things is set in reality. I'm gonna have some of this cookie now. Stranger Things is set in reality, so it's about people playing D&D, and the monsters are just things that come up in their world, and they kind of give them the names of something equivalent in D&D. That's good. the way. The D&D movie, however, is obviously set in the D&D universe. So, D&D monsters set in the Forgotten Realms on the Sword Coast. Now, when I heard about this movie, I was on the fence. Previous D&D movies have been lackluster at best. But I was pretty confident about this one. When I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, it's looking good. A lot of people saw the trailer and went, it's just funny, it's a comedy basically. It's not serious. Have you ever played D&D? I run a lot of D&D and nobody plays it uber seriously. There are serious moments and there are funny moments. Sometimes you have a game that is all comedy, but I've never seen a game that does not have humour injected in. It would just be boring. So really, it just represented the only the average D&D party. But it was a good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. Maybe I'll do a video where I actually review it properly. But I thought it was a good representation of D&D. There are obviously some rule things that were changed here and there. But, I mean, who cares? It's just a movie. Especially like the owlbear thing, but I think owlbears should be beasts anyway at this point. That's just a hot take. But yeah, I was suspicious at first. And then the trailer came out, I enjoyed it. Went to see the movie, I thought it was fantastic. Is it the perfect movie? No, of course not. But it does exactly what it wants to. I do have some criticisms, of course. Most notably was that Chris Pine is supposed to be a bard but doesn't play a single song. No, sorry, doesn't cast a single bit of magic in the entire movie. At least not, from him. He uses a magical item. And that's not a bard. So my hot take is that he is a rogue with proficiency in the loot. He has the entertainer background, and that's it. That's my hot take. I've heard word that in the second movie, because I've heard that they want to make another one, that they will have Chris Pine actually cast magic. I don't know why they didn't. They could very easily have gone and cast Speak with Dead with the bard. But it is what it is. But I enjoyed the movie nonetheless. Fun fact about the movie. The prison they're sent to at the beginning, Revel's End, that actually appears in the module Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden, and it was actually put into the module what must be about 2 or 3 years ago. I played that module as a player, and I'm running it as a GM now, and that came out years and years ago. But that location was designed for the movie. It doesn't exist in the lore, or it didn't. It was designed for the movie, and they preemptively went, we can have this in the movie. We have an adventure set in the Icewind Dale, let's put it in there. So, in preparation for it being in the movie, they added it into a module that came out 3 years previously. I just think that's really, really funny, and good, foresight. But yeah, that's that. Very nice. I've still got half the bottle here. Trying to think, is there any other stuff that? Oh, I do want to talk about Riverdale. I'm gonna pour a little bit more of this in here. I might not finish it all, but I kind of hate the is lowing their mourn right now. So many people low their mourn in this place. It's like they each take it individually, like in turns every day, to low their mourn. It's not very loud at the moment, so hopefully that's fine. I would hate to close my window because then I will die. It's so hot here in the UK. It was horrible weather the other week. And in fact, not even just the other week, the other day. Like rainstorms and freezing cold weather. Well, okay, not freezing cold, but pretty cold, pretty nasty. And today it's bloody roasting. So, there you have it. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Riverdale. So, I got so much to say about this damn show, but I'm going to save that for another time, perhaps. Riverdale is a teen CW-esque, I don't know if it's actually CW, show about, like, set around the Archie comics, but then it's so wildly different. But they did one series when it was, what was it? Something in gargoyles. I'm gonna check it up now. It was Griffins and Gargoyles, which is literally just like the unbranded name to go for, to refer to D&D. It was basically Dungeons and Dragons. And the irony about all of this is that I almost guarantee you that the actors, some of the actors anyway, and the writers probably played D&D. So many people in Hollywood and in those creative environments play D&D because it's improvised storytelling. So how they managed to make it seem like a fucking cult, I'll never know. I hated it because it felt like they tried to justify the satanic panic by making it into this thing like you joined a cult and like now you were your character. You know, I am a level 5 wizard and I like that's who I am now, and it's just like shut the fuck up. Like I don't play like I don't go around and say I'm a level 53 edge runner because I played Cyberpunk. You know, it's so stupid. But they kind of like make it super culty, and they did that like right after they did a series about an actual cult. And when he's like infiltrating and then becomes like addicted to the game. Now the addiction to the game I get because I mean I would say I'm pretty addicted. Oh look, there you go. I didn't even think about the Stranger Things. That's Eddie Munson up there. Beautiful, beautiful Eddie Munson. I've got a story to tell about that, but I'll save it to the end. I don't really have much I can really say about Riverdale in all honesty. I just thought that the whole way of presenting it just felt like they were giving credit to Satanic Panic, and I know you don't take it seriously, that show. And like it's just media, but it felt a little bit like, okay, so you're using a trope again, but you're not. You've got no commentary on it. You're just going Satanic Panic, and that's it. And then made like the Gargoyle King, who, the whole ending of that series was just so fucking stupid. It deserves it to be destroyed from history. I don't care if that show is like a satire or whatever. It goes beyond satire to just theft, and it's shit. It was shit since season 2. That's my hot take. Maybe I'll do a video going through all of my hatred of Riverdale, but you know, I never watched the last few seasons. I watched like a breakdown of the last couple because I just couldn't stomach it. I got to where they went, they came back after being older, and I just gave up. I was like, this is just trash. I thought they might try to rebrand it, take it back to its roots, but it was still stupid. So I gave up, and I didn't really miss much. So, I'm trying to think anything else of D&D in media. Not that I can think off the top of my head. I've heard that after the movie they want to make a D&D TV show. What's the company? Paramount, I've heard. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if that would work very well. You know, suck. So yeah, so I'm gonna begin to end off. There's only a little bit left of this anyway, and kind of tell you a bit of a story. So if you don't want spoilers for the end of Stranger Things season 4, this is your chance to leave the video. So at the end of season 4, there's a big event that happens involving Eddie Munson, of course, a character introduced that season. Now before then he didn't exist, or like he wasn't in the show, and in season 4 he was introduced, and when he was brought in, a friend of mine, because I obviously am a GM and I used to run a game that we streamed with some group of friends, and one of my friends who I was living with at the time turned around after the end of the season, because he was like long hair, kind of looked kind of similar to me, like she transposed Eddie Munson, like me on Eddie Munson, and at the end he died, like in a self-sacrifice, and at that moment, like, she had just finished season 4. I'd finished it ages ago, but she'd only recently just finished it. She'd only just started watching Stranger Things, so she had a lot to get through. Anyway, so she gets to the end of season 4, comes up, like, I'm coming down the stairs, and she just looks up at me and just starts sobbing. And then, so she comes up the stairs, and I'm stood there. She hugs me and starts sobbing, and says, "You died." And I was like, "What?" And then I realised what she meant, and she was just like upset about it. And then like a day later, she had a dream about me dying because of it, and I just thought that was very funny. But yeah, that was a little story about that. I've got another story to jump off the back of that. I went out for a drink maybe a few months after that with some friends. I left a little bit early to come home with my partner, and the rest of them decided to go out to another bar. This is one of the biggest regrets of my life. I should have put this in the other video about regrets. I found out the next day they had gone to this bar, and who was there? Eddie fucking Munson. Not only was he there, but he had a drink with them, and then they went to his flat. Yes, you heard that right. They went and got to meet Eddie Munson, went to his flat, had some drinks there, and just chatted with him. He like showed them some footage of stuff he was proud of, and like they got to go over to Eddie Munson's flat. Was very jealous about that. Yeah, apparently he was in London for something. He got a flat in London, and yeah, they got to go and meet him, and that is a real event. They didn't get a photo with him because my friend was like, "I don't want to like intrude." So I guess there are no receipts to prove it, but yeah, it definitely happened. I did not believe them, by the way. I was like, there's no way you're fucking with me. You did not do that. But no, like when I really like interrogated it, they were like, it happened, and he has his number to prove it, and like conversation. So it's real. Even to this day, there's a part of me that's like, maybe it isn't, but I have no reason to think they would lie to me. You know, that's not the kind of people that they are. They wouldn't have lied about that. There's no way. So there you go. If I just hadn't gone home early that night, yours truly would have met Eddie Munson. And guess what? He doesn't like D&D. The cast had to play it for their thing, but yeah, he doesn't like D&D. And if I'd been there that night, I would have changed that man's mind. I would have said, "You're going to come over and we're going to play some D&D, and you're going to understand how it plays," you know, because I can imagine that playing it on set is not the same as like playing a game of D&D. Like, it's just like it's an actor's wet dream, you know. It's role play. So there you go. There's a story about Eddie Munson. And with that, we have finished the beer. So the video went on a little bit longer than I thought it would, but you know, I kind of prefer the longer videos. It lets time for people to fall asleep, and I always find that a lot of ASMR videos kind of cut off at like 15 to 20 minutes, and there's not a lot of time to really rest, especially if they have ads. You know, at the moment there are no ads on this channel. I would love it to stay that way, but you know, if it comes to a point, I mean, at the moment I very much doubt it, let's be honest, but you know, it would be nice. Oh, one more thing before I finish off. We got our first natural subscriber today. Ain't that nice? So whoever you are, thank you for subscribing. I can't tell. I think you have your subscriptions off. That or YouTube is just messing with me and I can't see it. But the others are from my other two channels. But we got our first natural one, and so great to have you in. I hope you like what you're seeing, because I imagine you subscribe to a channel this small for a reason. So yeah, thank you for being part of this journey. You are going to be the first one. If you see this and you comment in the comments, I will like have you up in videos and stuff as like the original sub. You know, assuming that you're not a bot. But yeah, thank you very much. If you are indeed a real human being or alien, you know, maybe there are aliens that want to listen to some ASMR. Anyway, I'm going to head off now, so thank you for listening in, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.